Hey guys, it's Chaos 45, and I got a overview of the 1895 guide gun by Marlin. It's a 4570 government chambering, and these are my first impressions. I just picked this rifle up 3 days ago. Took it to the range once, put about 100 rounds through it, and so here we go. This rifle has very, very poor fit and finish from the factory. Here's just an overview of some of the problems with its appearance, and I'll get into the internals in a minute here, but where the foregrip meets the band, it just does not contour the band. It's wider by a significant amount, and you can see where they had marked it from the factory. I mean, there was a pencil mark on the rifle when I picked it up. So you could see where they had marked it out to do some final finishing and never did, and just stained it, installed it, and called it a day. That goes the same for down here where the grip meets the receiver. It is not as bad as up here, but it is wider than the receiver. Where this bolt holds the stock onto the receiver, it is longer than the width of the stock, and it sticks out of the metal a little bit, and I don't know why they did that. That should be a production part that comes out a certain size. I just don't understand why the hell that's sticking out. And just the overall cycling of the action is very, very stiff. It has sections in the cycling where it gets harder, and then it gets easier, and then it gets harder. And that's just the way that the lever lifts the carrier and pushes the bolt back. So that's to be expected. But I mean, the level of friction that's there, just it's very poorly finished on the inside as well. I took this rifle completely apart and just seen what was going on the inside, and it's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good. With that said, I did a significant amount of research on this rifle before I purchased it, and from my research, I got off lucky compared to some other people. I saw a review of a guy whose front sight post was crooked on the barrel. I don't recall anything wrong with buckhorn sights. And so when I picked this up, I just wanted to make sure that the sights were on correctly, and the rest I have the skill to take care of myself. So I was able to let some of this fit and finish problems go, but I still think it's not right. If you're going to be selling guns for the price they're asking for, I think it should, a little more attention to detail should be made. That said, my first impressions of this rifle, I think it's a decent rifle. It's not too terribly bad. If you're able to let some of the other things go. So I graded this rifle on function, reliability, user friendliness, flexibility, size, weight, durability, maintenance, and cost. So for function, I gave it a poor on function, just because of the way it cycles. It had some problems with the what's it called, the safety, the trigger safety spring. So basically you got to close the action and make sure it depresses a safety in there that allows you to pull the trigger. And it was so, it had so much spring to it, it would knock the lever open while you were trying to load rounds into the tube, and caused the round to come back past the loading gate, and you couldn't get the next round in. You had to sit there and make sure you held it closed while trying to stuff rounds in it. Was not too into that, just because the ergonomics of it are I mean, you're sitting there on the firing line, you're trying to do this in a safe manner, you're having to hold it closed while pointing it down range, while trying to put a big old 45-70 round in it. It was terrible. So I was able to fix that. But anyway, the function of it it's not up to par from the factory. Reliability, I'd say it has average reliability. It went into battery okay. It cycled okay. I didn't have any problems with firing pin or hammer or trigger. It's just a little heavy, but that's okay. We'll get that taken care of. User friendliness is average user friendliness. It's no different than some of these other lever offerings that are out on the market. Flexibility, I'd say it has excellent flexibility, just because the size and weight of it, and I mean there's just so many loadings that you can do with a 45-70. You can do your cowboy action loads, you can do your medium game loads, you can do your safari loads with it. It's just a really, really good round. I really, really like it a lot. Flies like a rainbow, but other than that, I'm pretty fond of the 45-70 government. Its size is an excellent size, an excellent weight. I think it's weighing in at about 7 pounds, give or take a few ounces here or there. Its durability, I would say, would be excellent if it had synthetic stocks. I want to keep kind of the Wild West meets modern day materials with this rifle, so I'm willing to sacrifice some durability and go with a nice wood set of stocks. If it had synthetic, I would say it would be excellent durability because of the simpleness of the action and the materials that it's made out of. That's not the case for this one though. Maintenance, I would say it has excellent maintenance because of the stainless steel. Stainless steel is just so easy to maintain. I shoot black powder out of a set of stainless steel 45s, and I mean, I've had no trouble with the stainless. some of the other firearms I have, I've had problems with black powder, just gumming them up so bad. You got to clean it halfway through, whatever you're doing. And cost, I would say that this has a very poor cost for what you get. I think they could do a little bit better on what they're giving you for the money you're paying. But that might not be the case. And, you know, just the cost and the material cost and the labor cost and what they need to MSRP for may not add up to their favor. And they're not a non-profit organization, so they, you know, that may be the issue that's going on with this. Or it could be, you know, the Marlin Remington buyout or whatever took place there. There's lots of information on that. But you got guys that were making bolt actions and shotguns, now making lever guns, and so there might be a little learning curve there. Whatever it is, I can't explain why you get such a poorly finished rifle. All I know is that it is poorly finished when you buy it. I was able to let all that go because I'm just absolutely in love with the overall appearance of the rifle. It just really gets me going. So I made a decision and said, based on my skill level, I can get this rifle to where it needs to be. So here we are. To summarize, I would say, unless you feel the same way I feel about this rifle, I'd say that there's better offerings out there. Even by Marlin, there's better offerings. You get more rifle for the money, but I absolutely had to have it. So, I'm in the process of going through it and taking care of some of the finishing problems. I might do a review. I might break them out as I get them done and kind of explain how to do them. I may not, but I will come back after everything has been done and do a final review of the firearm. I'd like to put another, you know, about 250 rounds through it before I make a final conclusion on some of these items. Yeah, I'd like to also take it out in the field and hunt with it before I make the